Hello, everybody. It's your old pal Boise with another daily sobriety vlog. How are you? How are you doing today? We got through Memorial Day. Quite moving, quite nice, quite relaxing. I'm sure plenty of you ate plenty of hamburgers and hot dogs. I had a cucumber sandwich because I'm a vegetarian. But I felt patriotic doing it, by God. I think George Washington grew cucumbers on his farm, and I think that's just all American too. Yeah. In other words, just do something that makes you feel good. Anyways, let's do some stats. Today is Tuesday. It's May 26th. I've been sober for 14,301 days. 39 years, 1 month, 23 days, 469 months. Yeah, it's stacking up, isn't it? Well, you stop, something like this makes you stop and look and reflect every day because it's daily, but that's okay. That's why it's called the daily sobriety vlog. So I'm sober every day. So if it's a daily, I'm reporting another day. So you add another day to it. And I'm not writing, so I'm talking to a camera, so it's not a blog. It's a blog, combination video and blog. Lazy writing, I call it. I do write things from time to time, but most of the time it's things that I use in conversations. I think conversations are the most important thing to reach out and reach out. Even like with religion, you reach out. Or in the words of Depeche Mode and Personal Jesus, reach out, touch faith. You gotta make the effort. You gotta reach out. If you don't reach out, you're not gonna feel it. You're not gonna touch it. You're not going to achieve it. And this is funny because I'm thinking of, once again, my book here, Happiness One Day at a Time. So this is not even today's date. The book just happened to be, the binder just happened to kind of be half broken to it, like someone left the book there. Because this is a secondhand book I got at Half Price Books. And so this was very important to someone. This is actually from June 14th. Everything's on a day to day. So in case you don't have a theme, you can look at this and go, oh, well, there's something I can focus on. Because a lot of times we just, how many times someone say, how you doing? Fine. How's your day going? Just another day. Yeah. Another day, another dollar. Yeah, I eat that shit, Have some coffee, gotta pee. Yeah. In and out, Okay. We've all had those days. So this kind of book helps you stay kind of focused because if you're sober, cheers. If you're sober, you're gonna want to be looking forward, not just stumbling around. Because if you're stumbling around, you're reminding yourself of the old you in little ways. And why not just stumble back into another line of Coke? That'll brighten up my day. Oh, I'm really picked up now. You know what I mean? Hey, I'm ready to go. I just had Red Bull. I had too many. I had too many Red Bulls. People do it all the time. Trust me. I used to do it all the time. Trust me. When I was doing it, don't trust me with anything. Anyways, the book was open to this, and I thought, well, what is it? I'm going to look at it. And it was really funny because it hit me today because I'm talking about reaching out, touch faith, reaching out after Memorial Day. It was very heartwarming and touching. And now today is another day. Well, what are you going to do in another day? Same old thing? No, you can do something different. Approach it from a different angle. So this is June 14th. It's called Setting Out to Explore. Today I'm setting out to explore the world and I am expecting a wonderful adventure. Quite positive attitude. I have come to understand that by staying alone at home, which we've all done, I've done it, or by settling into a strict routine, I miss out the opportunity to live my life to its fullest and to achieve my full potential. And if you're at home right now saying, I haven't been outside in a week, I don't even answer my phone, I just text people every night, you know exactly what I'm talking about here, don't you? I've been there too. And we all come and go with that kind of thing, but this is kind of exposing it to you in your face while you're reading it. I am beginning a voyage of discovery to find out who I truly am by communicating. Now I seek to build bridges between myself and others. Reach out, touch faith. Thank you again, Depeche Mode. And we all change, we all adjust. I remember when that song first came out, I was a DJ at the Lakeview Castle on a Friday, Saturday nights. I would be out there. Anyways, this girl I worked with, she said, "Do you have any Depeche Mode?" And I said, "No." And then she said there was this great song. So I looked it up and went to the music store the next week, and I got a cheap cassette. It was used. Oh, I'll just pop it in and play it. I'll have it queued up for that one song. I didn't even know any other songs by that band, really. And then they've been around for like 5 or 6 years, but I had a real bias against the second wave of British music that didn't have guitars. Bit of a snob I was. Now, I love that music as much as I love my original music I grew up on. And as a matter of fact, this Sunday at the House of Blues in Houston, this band called Strangelove, and I've seen them once already. It's a tribute band, not just a cover, tribute. They look like Depeche Mode. They have the same setup. It's incredible. It's like going into a time machine, and I always talk about music being a time machine. I'm gonna go to that again because, man, that's just fun. Now, at the time, I was sober, newly sober. So, I was 28 years old, 27 going on 28. And never have listened to that, never. I played it for her and I'm like, oh, it's all right, it's a good song. I don't let my friends catch me playing it, but yeah, that kind of thing. Now I play it all, that's it, I played a mix of them all day long while I drove. Cheers. But reach out, touch faith, change, communication, that's the key. It's also, if you look at this, it's also the same as being in Narcotics Anonymous and Alcoholics Anonymous if you're in that program as well. Because what are they saying here? By communicating, I now seek to build bridges between myself and others. That's exactly what you're doing. And speaking to people at this stage of your life is awkward. It's no more awkward than being in your first 8th grade school dance and you want to ask a girl to dance, but you don't want to dance a fast one. You like it, but you feel like you have no control over your limbs and everyone's going to laugh at you and you're a dork and you're going to fear rejection. Remember those days? And then, at least I know how to do a slow dance. Just rock and try not to pop an erection while this is going on. Remember that one, guys? And some of you girls probably remember that too. But then you have to ask her. And it's not like a fast dance where you're separated. You got to be close. So even as children, we fear rejection. We fear rejection. You're not good enough. You can't do this. You're not good looking. That's a stupid shirt. You have a dumb haircut. You listen to bad music. I don't like the way you walk. I don't like the way you talk. I don't like the way you smell. I don't like your religion. I don't like your color. I don't like your attitude. Are you reminiscing about your childhood too? Yeah. So we learn to fear rejection all the time. That's why we envy people like, say, Depeche Mode, who are up on stage performing. Because they're performing when people really like them and they're happy and surprised. Like, oh, but they really like us. This is cool. And there are still people like, oh, they suck, man. And they still get up there and they do it. They don't fear rejection. That's the key. And I saw that later through my sobriety. I'm like, don't fear rejection. Or like Blue Oyster Cult would say, don't fear the reaper, baby, take my hand. Don't fear the reaper, baby, I'm your man. And you're not fearing the reaper and I'm your man. So obviously you're not being rejected. So it's kind of an empowering song when you think about it. And of course, then Saturday Night Live really blew it up with Will Ferrell going, "More cowbell." That's the song they were doing. A lot of people don't realize that. I recognize the song right away. The band, and I'm like, wow. And later on, I saw there's another great music venue. There's a lot here in Houston on the north side of town called the White Oak Music Hall. And they have 3 different venues. Outside, I saw them. Alice Cooper came, and it was on the lawn, and it was like a festival outdoor thing. Then I saw the band Blue Oyster Cult was inside, so it was inside, so it wasn't like thousands outside, but it was like 1,500, almost close to 2,000 people in there. They have an upper deck as well, a balcony. In the back, they're very smart. They have bars, so people can drink and they can buy expensive drinks. Of course, I save money that way, don't I? And you can buy expensive water, though. And the amazing thing is, and this is amazing, the bathrooms were kept clean. Wow. I just almost had a habit. I almost pulled it out and pissed in the sink from a distance. Like, wow, you guys keep this clean? Huh, I better watch my aim. Fantastic. You guys are top notch. Cheers. Sorry about you having to hear about my urination habits. But as a Lyft and Uber driver all across Houston, and I was a diabetic, and now my numbers are in line, but somehow my urinary tract hasn't got the memo. I sometimes have to pee a lot. So I've marked my territory. I tell people I've got over 500,000 miles in almost 8 years driving around Houston. So I know it like the back of my hand. I feel like I was a stray dog that was raised in the streets of Houston. And to prove that, I've actually marked my territory everywhere. As I could give you a tour of Houston and the sights, and then I could point out great places to urinate without causing a ruckus or without drawing any attention in broad daylight. But once again, sorry about the urination story. But you reach out, you touch people, not with urine, of course. You reach out and you touch people because you're newly sober and you're trying this thing. You're communicating because we feared rejection and getting stiff-armed every effing day of our lives. And I can say that because I feared it every day. And I can say it to you because you know you've feared it every day. And some of us still fear it right now as you're watching this video. And you're newly sober, so it's good news that you're going to come out of it. You're going to feel better. You're going to be grateful that you actually got out, reached out, touched faith, met people. Now, when that thing is kind of vague, but it's like you're reaching out, leaving your home, and it might be, strangers, people, coworkers, just people at the grocery store in line, communicate with them, movie theater, at a bar, I mean, I still go to bars. I don't sit at the bar and drink liquor, but I do eat in a bar. But I don't eat a hamburger. I eat vegetarian food. Sometimes you'll see me eating French fries and onion rings, and I'm with someone who's eating a burger and drinking a drink. And their friend is having a shot. And their other friend looks like they're on Coke. Because I'm not on it. And there are people that I've talked to. I don't drug screen people before I talk to them. If they're, as I'm reaching out and meeting them, if I realize they have that problem and the addiction, I tend to shy away, but I let them know it's like, hey, one day you are going to crash, and you are going to crash really hard, and you're going to have no friends, and you're going to have no one to turn to, and you're going to say, oh my God, I'm all alone, which is even worse than being rejected. And all your friends are doing coke and booze and smoking cigarettes even, and I don't smoke cigarettes anymore. The only New Year's resolution that ever worked in 1990. So far in my past, when the doctor said, "Do you smoke?" I go, nah, I didn't bother with it. That's like saying, I farted once, and I farted all through the 80s, and by the 90s I stopped. It's not, why talk about it? I don't even care anymore. But it was the hardest drug to quit. That's when I bring it up. Even harder than coke or heroin. So yeah, nicotine. Thank God I'm just vaping. It's nicotine. But you'll find out later. But we all do these things to try to adjust, to try to relax, try to make ourselves feel a little more comfortable within our own skin, because we still fear rejection. And the more you get rejected and the more you face rejection, the less fear you have of rejection. And an amazing thing happens once you get to a certain level and you push through it. Nobody hardly ever rejects you after that, because you carry yourself in a manner that if someone tried to reject you by watching you walk into the room, even their friends would say, shut up. Certain people are recognized when they walk into the room. And the last thing you want to be is the first person that's forgotten that walks into the room. Thank you, Red Hill Valleys. Quote from one of their songs. Yeah, check that band out. Great country rock band from Canada. Yes, our neighbors to the north. But you walk into a room and you carry yourself a certain way. And people will treat you a certain way. This last few videos I posted up, I had actually had some personal friends of mine reach out, touch faith, reach out to me through the organization of the Temple of Sobriety. And this one gal I work with, I've known her for like 10 years, but I hadn't seen her in years. And we used to work together. I used to be her boss. Anyways, she has a son that's suffering from drug addiction, and she wanted to get together and pick my brain. And I said, yes. And we can set you up with some people and give you some ideas of what you're going to go through, even when he tries to be sober and he starts a detox. He's going to have some angry outbursts, and it's going to be a real rough ride. It's kind of like when you hear about an Apollo moon mission, when they're coming in to the atmosphere from outer space, and they have to hit it at just the right angle, and there's a lot of friction, and they're always like, okay, the capsule's about ready to enter the ozone layer. We're going to lose communication for 3 to 4 minutes. It's going to be complete silence and blackout because communication doesn't reach through that thing. But let me tell you that it has to be at the right angle, and there's a lot of friction. That's why we can't hear what they're saying. And if they have the angle wrong, they could shoot off and never enter atmosphere again, or they could crash and burn because they took it too sharply. That's what detoxing is like. It's terrifying. Now, those around you, if you're in a clinic setting, are more than used to it. Cheers. No different than if you cut your finger off. It's traumatic. Your family, trying to wrap it in a Band-Aid. Make sure, no, don't even get a white cloth. It's going to get infected. Trust me, it's going to get infected anyways. And you have to rush someone to the hospital, and they got to try to stitch it back on. Everyone's freaking out. And you get to the hospital, like, oh, yeah, right here. We'll take care of it. Yes, no, that's all right. We're going to close the curtain. Everything's fine. They've seen so many fingers lopped off and ears that it's like, oh, here we go. That's their second digit today, isn't it, Bob? They're like veterans. So when you're freaking out in detox, these people have seen it before. What have I seen? Oh my God. I had this one girl I went through detox in 5 days. I'm like, Tori, that's not detox. Shut the F up. I could hold my fart in for 5 days. Shut up. And she would make this classic remark, and it is a classic remark. You hear it from movies and you hear other people. Oh my God, if you only knew what I saw, if you could see what I saw, you would never be the same again. You didn't see anything. But later on, you see that stuff and you're like, whoa. You don't know what it's like to be sitting next to somebody and he's just going, Jimmy, what's wrong? Bugs. Bugs? Yeah. Where? They're on me. No, they're not. They're under my skin, man. I'm tearing his skin apart, and you're like, wow. I was sitting right next to him. Well, Tori, if you only knew the things I saw. And that was just the first day of treatment. Or people slapping the wall because they see the bugs all over the walls. How many bugs? They're covered in them. Oh my God. So, I this one guy, cheek was all ripped and bloody. And I'm like, what happened? He was tearing the bugs off his face. Then he realized they were under his skin, so he had to rip his skin. Now, when you hear that, you think, that is just effing insane. And it is. But how did he get there? Drugs, alcohol, self-medication. How is he going to escape from that? Reach out, touch faith, communicate with others, open up. Remember, I always tell you about that little hole in your soul. Everyone has it. Might be a little hole, might be a big one. It comes and goes. You might be doing just fine. And then your mother dies. That's a big hole to fill, isn't it? That's going to take some time. Time heals everything, does it? Some people say, well, it doesn't heal everything. So they're telling you it's still got this in a roundabout way, but not even explaining it any deeper than that. And then more problems happen. So it's always an ebb and flow, but the hole is always there. The tear is always in your soul. The goal is to make sure you communicate and share with people and not self-medicate. Once you self-medicate, it's the quick way to a disaster, but it's quick. Because you could feel really bad. Do some Coke. Have some brandy Cokes. Oh, finally, stop crying. I haven't felt this good in a while. Matter of fact, I don't feel nothing at all because all my emotions have just gone dormant. It's just like when your tongue has all these different in the front. You got sweet and you got bitter buds, and they come to life when they taste something sweet or bitter. And you drink your alcohol, one shot, it numbs it all, kind of like Novocaine before you're ready for your dental work. But that one shot was enough, but you had to wait a little while. So as you're waiting, you have one more drink, and then maybe one more, and then you don't feel anything. But the next day, you're going to feel that pain, plus a hangover, plus whatever stupid shit you might have done the night before, and it adds to it. So it's back with a vengeance. I don't know how to deal with this. I'm just going to go get some more drugs and get some more booze. Oh, fuck, finally. Okay, good. And then it's like a jackass accordion. And the only thing that proves that you're right is that you didn't feel pain that night, but you feel it the next day. But then again, you're sober, technically. I mean, you're not inebriated, let's say. So then you get messed up again, and then you don't feel anything, and that's your way of success and sobriety and your way of dealing with the world. It's not a good idea. It's not a good thing at all. But reaching out, touching faith, communicating with others. I communicate with a lot of people. I talk like I'm in an AA meeting when I talk to people just naturally. That's just how I do it. That's just how I am. And that's how instead of self-medicating, I'm self-analyzing myself as I go through the day. So when I do go to a therapist or I do go to a meeting, I don't have a whole lot of baggage because I'm lightening my load every step of the way I can during the day. But that's because I went through treatment. I went through a lot of things to get to a certain level that I want to maintain. And you have to maintain it because it's just like a garden, and you have to pull the weeds out. And if you let the weeds grow, your garden goes to hell. So does your life, so does your emotions, so does your relationships, so does your family, so does your way of life. Be adventurous. Go out. Reach out. Touch faith. Now, Let's go over the stats one more time as I say goodbye with my long Minnesota goodbye. And if you're not familiar with a Minnesota goodbye, that's when we get our jackets and we stand on the front porch and we still talk for like 5 or 10 more minutes. Get down 2 steps. Oh, by the way, it can take a half hour to leave a house. A long Minnesota goodbye. You experience that with me every time I kind of wean off the topic and get ready to close down. But today's stats is Tuesday, May 26th, right after Memorial Day. 14,301 day. 39 years, 1 month, 23 days. 469 months. Yeah, the juvenile in me is like, he said 69. Yeah, I know. I won't be able to do that joke by the time the month's over, so I figured I'd slide one more in. Oh, we did it again. How dare he? And the happiness, one day at a time. Find a book like this. Find this book if you can. There, found it. It's right there. This is the one that had the page broken wide open. It was really cool. Oh, the other one's Speaking Openly on the other side. We'll have to cover that too, because that's part of setting out to explore. But by communicating, I now seek to build bridges between myself and others. Chef's kiss. Absolutely. Absolutely. Do it with your friends. Do it with your family. Do it with your brother. Do it with your sister. I'm talking communication, okay? Settle down. Your mom, your dad, your children, no matter how old they are, even though they're 6 years old, sit down and talk emotionally with them. It's easier. You don't even notice that when you're a parent, you just fawn over your children, their babies, you kiss them, you love them, you tell them you love them. And as they get older, you tend to not do it so much and some not at all. That's what I'm talking about. Reach out, touch faith. Anyways, thank you for joining me again on a daily sobriety vlog. Thank you so much. Patreon people, thank you. Venmo, Cash App, Buy Me a Coffee, ding, 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 chime. Thank you so much. And most of all, thank you for joining us. Thank you for being part of the team. Thank you for seeing people in the comments down below and communicating. Those of us that are 3 years sober and 13 years sober, lucky 13, hey, get together, share some stories, share some tips on what you think is very helpful and what's made you a success. Reach out, touch faith. And then also, share what's hard, what's difficult for you to do still to this day. Share that. Show that you're not fearing rejection. And it'll only help you as well. Trust me. Trust me. But thank you for spending your time. Your time is very valuable. And thank you from the bottom of my heart to the top of my soul. I see you out there. Thank you so much. I will leave you with, of course, my closing salvo from Ringo. Peace and love, everybody. Peace and love. Peace and love. I love the fact that you join me every day with this, so thank you so much. Like, subscribe, comment, get involved with the community. Say hi to me, say hi to the other people that are involved. And I'll just leave you with this. I love you. And guess what? You needed to hear that today. See ya.